The Servant Candle. This is a reading from Judy Bressler's klezmer conservatory band, and it's adapted by Monique Bourgeois. A candle alone is a small thing, but one candle can light another, and see how its own light increases as it gives flame to another. We light this chalice, and we ask that through the strength of our community, may we always bring light to the world. Welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Des Moines. I'm Barbara Martin. My pronouns she, her, hers. We welcome all people engaged in a reasonable search for truth and meaning, no matter where you are in your life journey or religious exploration. We welcome the searchers and the seekers, the confused and the confident. And whether you are here for a day or for a lifetime, we are glad that you have chosen to be with us. And we will now have our gathering song, which I'm sure most Unitarians know, even without looking at the words on the screen. Enter, rejoice, and come in. It's private. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your ears to the song. Open your ears to the song. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Open your hearts, everyone. Open your hearts, everyone. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Don't be afraid of some change. Don't be afraid of some change. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Enter, rejoice, and come in. Today will be a joyful day. Enter, rejoice, and come in.
Welcome here, you who are in need of healing, you who are confused, who have been betrayed. Welcome with problems and pain. Welcome too with joy and wondering. Welcome to hope and longing for assurance. Here you will find safety for your questions instead of promises. May you find community for your struggle, people with hands and hearts to join you, and a chance to engage in the challenges and changes of our day. I'm Reverend Amy Petrie Shaw. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. Again, welcome to First Unitarian Church of Des Moines, which stands on the land of the indigenous Iowa people. I'm so glad that you're here today. As we go into our children's chapel time, this is for kids of all ages, both those in the room and those following along at home on Zoom. And the question is, what are we talking about today? Well, today we're talking a little bit about a holiday called Pentecost, which is kind of an interesting holiday where fire came down from the sky, according to one set of religious beliefs, and hovered over the heads of a bunch of people. But what we're really talking about is what it means to be a student and what it means to be a teacher. Now, for those of you still in school, when you learn about a new thing, you sit and you listen to the teacher, at least if you're not trying to get in a lot of trouble. And you listen to what the teacher has to say, and you read the books. Maybe you watch the YouTube videos. You ask questions. But you don't get up in front at the blackboard and try to teach the class, because you're a student and you're learning. So you sit there and you listen. And that's awesome. And when you're a teacher, you do the opposite, right? You teach, you tell people about things. And that's amazing too. Maybe you use lots of notes, maybe you use books, maybe you just tell them things you know. And in America, we've got a really good idea of what it means to be a student and what it means to be a teacher, but it's not always the best idea. Because maybe as a student, you learn something pretty well and you get the idea. And you're ready to go tell other people about it. For the Christians, who are one group of religious believers, students of a master or of a teacher were called disciples. Disciples were people who listened. They weren't good enough to get up front and teach. Pentecost is the day when a group of disciples realized that they really did know enough to go out and teach. And then they became what they called apostles. And apostles are people who go spread the word, who go tell other people. The hard part about being an apostle, and you can be an apostle about anything, you can go out and teach about anything. But the hard part is a lot of times you're not sure you know enough to teach. So today we're talking about being brave, about taking little steps. You don't have to know all the multiplication tables. But if you know 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 4, if you know your twos, you can get out there and teach somebody else the twos. Don't worry about the 3s or the 4s yet. Just teach the twos. So we're talking today about taking little steps and about being an apostle while you're still a disciple at times. Don't be afraid to teach what you know. Thank you for listening to my words this morning. Today we are lucky enough to have a spotlight, so I'd like to ask our spotlight folks to step on up.
Hi there, good morning. My name is Jo Fitz. This is my first time back for over 2 years in this very room. However, I've been checking it out on Zoom, zooming my heart away. It's really good to be back.
And I'm Susan Seitz, and I have been here in the last 2 years, but it's good to be here today. My pronouns are she, her, and hers. This little promo was written by Jo, who is a big fan of the musical Hamilton.
I am not throwing away my shot. I am not throwing away my shot.
I'm not throwing away my shot. Jo, what shot are you not throwing away?
I am not giving up the chance to participate in something that
is great and coming about in our church in the near future. It is called Circle Suppers. You may have heard of that before. We are reinventing it. And that is my attempt to not give away my shot.
Okay.
I wanna be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens, the room where it happens. I wanna be in the room where it happens, the room where it happens, the room where it happens.
What room is where it's happening?
The room where it happens, besides this room, is the homes of the church members and friends that host our new Circle Suppers.
Tell me more about circle suppers. I don't know too much about them.
Circle Suppers are groups of 4 or 5 households who gather together once a month for probably 4 to 5 months to spend time with each other and enjoy a potluck meal. A first host or hostess will contact your assigned group. Most members will provide a place to have the meal. You can sign up if you are interested.
Well, I am interested and I want to sign up, but I'm not able to have it in my home.
Not a problem. You could join another member and assist them in their home. Also, you might want to think about meeting outdoors, such as at a park or at on a patio. So whatever your needs are, we want to assist you.
It must be nice, it must be nice to have Washington on your side. It must be nice, it must be nice to have Washington on your side.
It would be nice to have UUs on your side,
Why so, Joe?
attending these Circle Suppers.
Why would it be nice to have UUs on your side?
Well, let me tell you, UUs are special, caring, trustworthy, and supportive people. We're community builders. We are convivial. We are into fellowship. We will provide a meaningful coming together. Did you hear Amy's sermon last week?
I did. How do I sign up?
Okay, right outside the door in this, this room in the foyer, there should be a sign-up sheet. And also there are options on the intercom via online to put your name down, and we will make it happen for you.
I think I'll sign up after the service, and I'll look for you at the table. Thank you.
It must be nice to be in the room where it happens. I'm not gonna give up my shot.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the spotlight. Thank you, Barb and Bruce. Our offering words are done with deep seriousness. A young UU minister was on his way back to the church from an extended out-of-state trip. Eager to be home before dark, he was traveling, well, a little rapidly. He ended up being pulled over by a state trooper, and the officer was not impressed, either by his explanation or by his fancy ministerial collar, and asked, "Do you want me to give you a little sermon about your driving, Pastor?" The pastor sighed and said, Oh, skip the sermon. Let's go for it. Take up the collection. The morning offering will now be given and received. There'll be a link in the chat. One half of our plate, as always, goes to the internal social justice work of the church, and one half to our current Faith in Action partners, Knock and Drop and Just Voices. As we enter into a time of meditation, please settle into a comfortable position and take a few centering breaths. Let us enter into a time of silent thought, meditation, or prayer for 1 minute. As the Church of the open mind and the loving heart, we are here to bear witness and to hold one another in the moments of our lives which are the most fragile and the most beautiful. We are a community of human hands and human hearts, and this is the time in our service where we minister to one another and we speak briefly about the good and the bad happening to us and in the world. Please hold in your thoughts and prayers this week Sarah Lauer. Her parents say that Sarah is having shoulder surgery on June 9th in Seattle. Her father, Michael, will be with her during her stay there, so please keep the entire Lauer family in your hearts. Cards and notes are appreciated at the Lauer's home address. And if you need that, you can email me. Otherwise, it's in the directory. Elaine Imlau sends a concern. She writes, for our first post-lockdown Family Promise hosting week, we're in need of about 8 people for evening or overnight hosts and flipping bedrooms back to classrooms the week of June 12 through 19. That's only a week or so away. For our safety, we have 2 air purifiers in the family common room. So if you can help, please see Elaine Imlau at the Family Promise table in the gathering area after the service. I ask that you hold in your hearts this week also the victims of the latest 2 shootings, especially the Ames shooting, which is close to us. Let us share now together the names of anyone we know who could use some special care and attention. You may type their names into the chat or call the names out loud, and may the love of this community hold them all. May the light of our community shine on all of the broken places of the world. May the work of our hands and our hearts support, aid, and comfort all those who hunger for food or water, justice or freedom. May we never look away when we're needed. May those who are grieving be comforted. May those who are tired find rest. May the broken places be healed. And may those who are filled with joy and laughter be abundant. Now together we light 3 candles. One is for the joys and the sorrows we've shared, one for the names we've written and spoken, and one last candle for all of the joys and all of the sorrows which are deeply held but remain unspoken here today.
Good morning. My name is Greg Nichols, and my pronouns are he, his. When a minister is called to a church, we begin with an installation to honor that call and recognize the covenant. When a minister leaves, we send them forth again, and we each release each other from the bonds of that call.
You have offered me your free pulpit and the freedom of creativity and worship, gifts for which I am grateful. I hereby return the ministry of worship to your able hands. Use it to speak the truth in love to one another, to continue to find reverence and meaning together.
Reverend Amy, we thank you for your service in our pulpit. We accept its power of freedom for ourselves and release you from your service as our worship leader.
You have welcomed me into the transitional moments of your lives, times of sorrow and crisis, and also of great joy. It's been my privilege to be there in times of need, and I now return the ministry of pastoral care to your hands. Use it to comfort and celebrate the milestones of your lives with compassion.
Reverend Amy, we thank you for the pastoral care you've offered us. We accept its power of compassion for ourselves and release you from your role as pastoral caregiver.
You have asked me to lead you in works of justice and compassion, inspiring us to build a better world. I return the prophetic ministry to your hands. Use it to take the teachings of Unitarian Universalism beyond our walls into a hurting human family.
We thank you for your prophetic voice. We accept it for ourselves and to release you from your service as our leader for peace and justice.
You've asked me to serve as an administrator and professional leader to this congregation. Today, I return the administration of this congregation to you. May you guide yourselves with courage and wisdom into a strong and secure future.
We thank you for your professional leadership. We accept its power of vision and knowledge and release you from your call as our professional leader.
The light of our shared ministry will be extinguished today, but our respective ministries will continue separately. Our separate fires will bring light to the world in new and unique ways. With love and gratitude, I release you from our covenant with one another.
Reverend Amy, with love and gratitude, we release you from our covenant with one another.
Thank you all so much, and thank you all. You've been a joy. Thank you, guys. And now we've got some amazing special music.
Good morning, everybody. This is a great song by Rob Leveridge, and I'm going to teach you the chorus because the chorus is repeated multiple times through the song. And it goes like this. Cherish the work of justice, lovers of every kindness, humbly the faithful walk in the light. Love is the cord that binds us. So, now we'll do it. Are you ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
Cherish the work of justice, lovers of every kindness, humbly the faithful walk in the light. Love is the cord that binds us. Cherish the work of justice, lovers of every kindness, humbly the faithful walk in the light. Love is the cord that binds us.
Well, Jesus talked about the sheep and the goats.
Love is the cord that binds us.
Said if people are cold, then give them your coats.
Love is the cord that binds us.
If someone is thirsty, give them something to drink.
Love is the cord that binds us.
Jesus said, do this now, what do you think?
Love is the cord that binds us. Cherish the work of justice, lovers of every kindness, humbly the faithful walk in the light. Love is the cord that binds us.
When someone's a stranger, make them feel at ease.
Love is the cord that binds us.
Remember when you do this for the least of these.
Love is the cord that binds us.
That we should all be one big family.
Love is the cord that binds us.
Love all of our siblings and you and me.
Love is the cord that binds us. Cherish the work of justice. Lovers of every kindness, humbly the faithful walk in the light. Love is the cord that binds us.
Gonna live in peace here and everywhere.
Love is the cord that binds us.
Gonna beat these swords into plowshares.
Love is the cord that binds us.
Be born on the wings like eagles.
Love is the cord that binds us.
Gonna run and not get weary.
Love is the cord that binds us. Cherish the work of justice. Lovers of every kindness, humbly the faithful walk in the light. Love is the cord that binds us.
I want to thank these folks for all joining me today and singing so nice. Beloved community, times are hard, but love and light are near. So let me hear you.
All right.
Whoa, 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 whoop, 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 doo, 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 doo.
Whoop, 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 doo, 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 doo.
Whoa, whoa, whoop, 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 doo, doo, doo.
Cherish the work of justice. Lovers of every kindness, humbly the faithful walk in the light. That binds us. Cherish the work of justice.
Cherish the
Lovers of
word.
every
Lovers of
kindness, faithful walk in the
we
light.
walk in the light that binds us.
Our reading this morning is brought to us by Reverend Dr. Rebecca Parker, entitled, Choose to Bless the World. Your gifts, whatever you discover them to be, can be used to bless or curse the world. The mind's power, the strength of the hands, the reaches of the heart, the gift of speaking, listening, imagining, seeing, waiting. Any of these can serve to feed the hungry, bind up wounds, welcome the stranger, praise what is sacred, do the work of justice, or offer love. And any of these can draw down the prison door, hoard bread, abandon the poor, obscure what is holy, comply with injustice, or withhold love. You must answer the question, what will you do with your gifts? Choose to bless the world. The choice to bless the world can take you into solitude to search for the sources of power and grace, native wisdom, healing, and liberation. More, the choice will draw you into community, the endeavor shared, the heritage passed on, the companionship of struggle, the importance of keeping faith, the life of ritual and praise, the comfort of human friendship, the company of earth, the chorus of life welcoming you. None of us alone can save the world. Together, that is another possibility waiting. And we have a learning experience for you today, not only this song, but this hymn that we're about to try on page 357. If you read music at all, I suggest you look at the book. But Bruce is going to give us a run through once, and Sarah is helping me here at the podium. You want me to come over there? Okay, we'll be right here. We're going to sing the first verse together. So by that time, you will be ready to join us in the second, third, fourth, and fifth verses. Sit up straight, okay? Standing is good too.
Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising. Bright morning stars are rising. Days are breaking in my soul. Oh, where are our dear mothers? Oh, where are our dear mothers? Oh, where are our dear mothers? Days are breaking in my soul. They are sowing seeds of gladness. They are sowing seeds of gladness. They are sowing seeds of gladness. Days are breaking in my soul. Oh, where are our dear fathers? Oh, where are our dear fathers? Oh, where are our dear fathers? Days are breaking my soul. They are in the fields of plowing. They are in the fields of plowing. They are in the fields of plowing. Days are breaking in my soul.
Good work.
So today is the Christian holy day of Pentecost, which for a lot of Unitarian Universalists brings up a rousing response of, so about that weather. What's Pentecost? Why do we care what Pentecost is? Some of you know the Christian story. The last meal that Jesus, the prophet, had with his disciples or followers, his students, he told them to go out into the world, to minister, to heal the sick on their own. Get out of the nest, kids, you're ready to fly. At that moment, the moment he said to them, you're not students anymore, you're ready to go, they became the apostles. Apostles are the people sent out on a mission. They are the teachers, the doers. They're no longer passively receiving. 50 days later, 50 days after the prophet Jesus' death, we have Pentecost. So what's Pentecost? Pentecost is the day that the Holy Spirit descended on the 11 apostles. Now that sounds impressive. 11 men who had followed Jesus around the Middle East, plus one new guy. I love this because he always gets left out. One new guy, Mattathias, who just happened to be in the room. Can you imagine that? You join a bunch of people for dinner, and their God comes down and lights a fire on your head. Awkward, very awkward. In Christianity, this idea of the Holy Spirit is a little tricky to understand, but what it is the agency of the Christian God. Christians believe that their God is so big, so powerful, that if it tried to speak to you directly, you'd go boom and blow up. It's a little scary to have in a religious being, but that's what they believe. And so this Holy Spirit is the part that can talk to humans or interact directly with humans. And it showed up as tongues of fire over the heads of these newly minted apostles. It made them speak in languages they didn't previously know, and it sent them out to spread the teachings. This is an awesome metaphor. They took apostleship seriously in those days. Did it really happen? Who knows? But the metaphor is great. This idea of going forth, of being ready to get out there and to teach. This idea of spreading teachings that are life-giving, life-saving, it's still with us. A couple of years ago, a young teenager named Cameron Welsh, young black man, he got out there on TikTok as an apostle, not of Christianity. He wanted to share the rules his mama had given him for surviving white people and the white world. He wanted to spread a gospel of how to stay alive. If you get a chance, if you're on TikTok, you can look for Cameron. If you're not, just Google Cameron Welsh. The videos are all over the place. They're heartbreaking. Here's his gospel. Don't put your hands in your pocket. Don't put your hoodie on. Don't be outside without a shirt on. Check in with your people, even if you're just down the road. Don't be out too late. Don't touch anything you're not buying. Never leave the store without a receipt or a bag, even if it's just a pack of gum. Don't make it look like there's an altercation between you and someone else. Don't leave the house without your ID. Don't drive with a wife-beater t-shirt on. Don't drive with a do-rag on. Don't go out in public, as a matter of fact, with a strapless t-shirt or a do-rag on. Don't ride with the music too loud. Don't stare at a Caucasian woman. If a cop stops you randomly and starts questioning you, don't talk back. Just compromise. If you ever get pulled over, put your hands on the dashboard, ask if you can get your license and registration out. Now, he's speaking a language that most of us never had to learn. I saw Cameron's video online, and at the bottom in the description, it said, click like and share if you want world peace. Hashtag Black Lives Matter. Hashtag George Floyd. Hashtag Cameron Welsh. Now, I speak that language. I speak hashtag. So I started to scroll through. Black Lives Matter had just tweeted, "A riot is the language of the unheard." And I thought, well, I better retweet that. That sounds pretty important. So I did. And then Donald Trump said if he got 12 million retweets on Twitter, he would do something or another. I thought, yeah, and he'll give you a pony too. I didn't retweet that. I'll be the first one to admit that I use social media a lot. Post about peace and justice, and I click on things. And I can do all that without even stepping away from my computer or phone. It's amazing, dialing in social justice. It's great. Go out into the world, who me? Nobody set a fire on my head. All those things are good things to do. They get things started. But the work of the peacemaker and the justice seeker, our work, is to be the apostle, not the disciple. Our work is to get out there in the world rather than just passively receiving. The world's got a lot of problems, and they're large. And it's easy to feel like it's too much. It's just too much. We want to say, I've got a home, and I've got a job, I've got things I need to do. I work hard, let me enjoy my stuff. An ethic of handle it yourself because I'm okay over here and it looks scary isn't good. It boils down to, I just want to be an audience. Or how about this? You all are really impressive, you social justice folk out there, but I couldn't do it. It's a special kind of person. I just couldn't do it. That's the ethic of discipleship, an ethic that says, I just want to be a student of some great teacher. Let me take it all in, but nothing ever needs to go that way. Worst right now is an ethic of despair. And if you talk to anyone under 30, you may hear it. It's a frightening world. It doesn't feel like we can do much. Sometimes it's easy to just say, well, it's all broken. I don't want to do this. It's not true. It's not all broken. We want to take an ethic that says we can do this, and we can do this one step at a time. We don't have to learn it all before we go out and teach it ourselves. We don't have to learn it all before we get out there and act on it. No one action changes the world, but looking at the world in a different way lets us get started. Accept the small gains, move toward the next gain, one step at a time, 1 inch at a time. We can't end the problems today. We can't fix the world today. But don't wait for the tongues of fire to heat you up. The rise in your blood pressure when you see the brokenness in the world, that's heat enough. Take a chance and accept the small wins. Do what's right when you can, and when you can't, work to make it possible to do what's right. There's no great leader coming, it's just you. We are the people we've been waiting for. And you can handle this. You can do the things. Blow your nose, get started. Because we're all afraid. But we can do this. We can change the world one step at a time. Embrace that ethic of Pentecostal risk so that Cameron Welsh and the other young people like him will not need these kinds of rules. Do what's right in front of you. Do it today because it's the right thing to do. Fight the NRA. Help to defund the police and fund alternate support services. Go into the world, spread the word that change is going to come and that you are going to be the change. Impact your house and your block and your school system. Don't cry at the next shooting. Get out there. Piece by piece, a trickle becomes a flood. Human hands, human hearts, and human lives, one risk at a time. God called, it isn't coming, it's on you. And you can do it. Amen.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Our last song, number 61, Lo, the Earth Awakes Again.